Well, hello everyone and welcome to Hive Live Radio with myself, Rory Edwards. Alongside me is Brian Matovu.
Good afternoon everyone, all good? You alright, Rory?
I'm very well, thank you. And this time we have the main man, he's back. It's Harry Pritchard. The Pritch is back.
How are we doing? You all right? Thanks for having me.
I couldn't wait to say that. I could not wait to say that. No. First of all, how are you, Harry? We've missed you here on comms.
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. But it doesn't seem to miss me that much because we're still doing well. You know,
yeah.
It's not like I'm unbeaten in the commentary at the moment. So
are we though.
Yeah, exactly. So, perfect.
You know, coincidence? I don't think so. You know,
that's
that
it.
Sort of thing. No, it's brilliant to have you back. But first of all, how are you? How's your back? How's your situation at the moment?
It's a lot better, thank you, from probably the last time you saw me. So I am on the mend. I'm not putting a time frame on it. I'm hoping to be back potentially next season, whether that's full time or part time. I haven't made that decision yet, but that's my target. If I'm back then, that'd be perfect. But all's good and well. Thank you very much.
That's great. That's great to hear. Wonderful news. So last time out, the Bees had a couple of away games.
Yep.
And the last one was, well, first of all, we won three 1-0s in a row.
Yep.
And the last 1-0 was another hard-fought 3 points against Altrincham on another terrible pitch. Do you want to talk us through that one, Brian?
Yeah, like you said, terrible pitch. Altrincham, really, really wet, tough conditions, as you do these northern teams, especially in National League. That's what you're going to expect. But fair play to the Bees, and they dug in there. They defended well, as we always say. 8 away clean sheets in a row, which is an amazing record to really have, and they got the goal when they needed to score. Reece Brown, a Hartigan, fantastic delivery, a flicking from Reece Brown, and that was the goal that needed for Barnet to win the game.
Yeah, it was funny. Their manager, Phil Parkinson, I mean, he said they had a very similar chance just before that with Regan Linney, but it hit the underside of the bar and crashed out. And then a few minutes later, Brown scores almost an identical goal, but it goes in. And he said, when you're top of the league, that goal goes in. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that is, but I feel like you create your own luck as well. You have the majority of the possession, you create more chances. One of them's bound to go in, and I think Barnet fully deserved the win. I did watch it on the telly, and yeah, like I said, they deserved the win. But you do create your own luck, and unfortunately, it's a weird thing that happens in football. If you're down there, it just goes against you, and if you're up there, it goes for you, and no one knows why. But it just happens in every single league across the country.
Yeah, I mean, you say you make your own luck. I mean, what is it about this Barnet side that just seems so utterly relentless?
I mean, I was speaking to the management team just before I came up here, and I said, the boys here are unbelievable. The togetherness is, you can just see it on the pitch, the togetherness. And he turned around, Kirk turned around and said, we don't have to say anything anymore. We've done our coaching. The boys just are so tuned into how we want to play. They understand it. They've all bought into it. They're together. We just sit back and let them do it. And if you've got a team that's going to have it, obviously, when I was back at Maidenhead, we won the league from the Conference South to get into the conference, and I feel like it was the same. The manager didn't really have to say much. We were together on the pitch, we were together off the pitch, doing like team days out and things like that. And once you have that, that's more than any talent in a football team. If you have togetherness, you're more than likely going to win games. Yeah,
before I come back to you, Brian, I just want to ask you, Harry, about complacency. Now, Dean Brennan is very much, eyes on the prize, and all of that stuff. No room for complacency, and he was talking in his last post-match interview how dangerous that is. There doesn't seem to be any signs of that happening, but given there's 7 games, just 7 cup finals to go, how can the Bees get over the line and avoid that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is tough to not kind of see the end goal, especially when it's such a big prize at the end, getting back into the Football League. Yeah, I think there's a lot of experienced heads in the dressing room, and I think you need that. Obviously, a lot of youngsters as well, but youngsters that have also played a lot of football. It's not just kind of youngsters that this is their first time potentially pushing for promotion. We've been in the playoffs for the last 2 years, and that would have hurt a lot. So I think the players that were in those games last year and the year before will hopefully remember that and not want to be in that position again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything to add on that, Brian?
You're just talking about, I think it's testament to Dean Brennan and his coaching staff, because like Rich was saying, to lose in the playoffs back-to-back years, that could really hurt you. That could make you think, it's just not going to be our day. But you come back a third time again, and now you're just cruising in the league, 11 points clear. Just goes to show you that the relentlessness that you were talking about, it just never ends, and they just keep on going. And Barnet feel like they can't be stopped. 24 games undefeated.
Famous last words.
Undefeated at home. Do you know what I mean? So it's just fantastic to see the mentality that they just continue to push, and it looks like no one's going to catch them.
Well, indeed. And they face today a side in Gateshead. And even saying the word Gateshead gives me chills. Because, first of all, under Dean Brennan, the record is awful. But also, does it give you chills and flashbacks when I mention the word Gateshead?
Yeah, I didn't want to say this, but I've never beaten them as a player. I've never beaten Gateshead at all in my whole time of playing them. I must have played them 6, 7, 8 times now, and I've never beaten them. But today's the day it's going to change.
Come on. Love to hear.
You're not technically playing, of course.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But
I'm in the stadium.
You're the 12th man, as we all are, of course. But I mean, is there a reason? If you look at it analytically, is there a reason that Gateshead have had Barnet's number in recent years?
I think a bit like if the chances fall for you at the top of the league, they go in and these things happen in football. Every team has their bogey teams, is what they're all called, and maybe Gateshead is Barnet's bogey team.
Yeah, I'm loath to mention the incredible FA Trophy equaliser that we were so close. It still haunts me to this day, and I'm sure it haunts so many fans now.
Penalties,
but I mean, still, penalty shootout aside, it was an incredible moment. So we'll always have that.
Yeah, that's it. I was just saying in there again. I said about the FA Trophy game and how you can go from such a high to scoring the goal to then such a low to missing out on Wembley by a penalty kick. It was a hard one to swallow. But again, like I say, not just me, for the players that were there, it would have built a character. For the management team, it would have built a character. They would have learned from that. And as bad as it was at the time, hopefully it pays off this season.
Yeah, indeed. By the way, if anyone on the YouTube live stream has any questions for Harry, I'm sure he'll be very glad to answer them as well. Any questions for us as well? I don't think you'll want them, but Pritch is full of interesting insights as well. So ahead of the game today, then, the last time Barnet beat Gateshead was actually 2015. Under Martin Allen in the championship winning season. It was the last game of the season. It was a 2-0 victory. Maro Valletti with both of the goals, and it was a wonderful day for the football club. Are the omens there for another memorable day today?
I think so. Like you said, 2015 was a special year for Barnet. 2025 is looking to be another special year for the Bees. So I think today, home game against Gateshead, I mean, it's just written as for Barnet to win the game, given the form Barnet and given the form Gateshead are in, 5 defeats in a row for them. And Barnet are at home. Barnet don't lose at home. They haven't lost at home all season, so if there's a time, now is the time to finally break that Gateshead curse.
Yeah, indeed, it definitely is. And what kind of a game are we expecting today, do you think?
I think it'll be a standard what we normally see from the away sides that come to the Hive. Normally just play on the back foot, make sure you don't lose the game within the first 20-25 minutes. But Gateshead, even though they're in the playoffs, they are creeping lower and lower, and they do need to win. 5 defeats in a row, no wins in 7 games, so they do need to get themselves on the score sheet, and because they haven't really scored in the last 3 games as well, the goals have really dried up for them. So I think they're going to have to come out eventually, but I think to start the game they will be fairly defensive, and Barnet will dominate the ball as always.
Yeah, I mean, they are in rotten form, aren't they? By the way, welcome to everyone who's tuned in on DAZN. Glad to have you with us for Barnet versus Gateshead. It's a lovely sunny day. It's not the warmest, but it looks nice from here. As we were saying, Gateshead, in rotten form at the moment. Lost their last 5, and Alty before that were also in rotten form. Still put up a decent fight against Barnet, though. So you've got to be beware of the wounded animal in some sense, haven't you? Yeah,
obviously they've got something to play for. Their season's definitely not over. Now they're obviously pushing for playoffs, and they're a good enough team to be up in that playoff spot. Every team has their dip in form, and obviously it's going to be a tough game for Barnet today. And these are the games that we were speaking about earlier. You can't be complacent in these games because they have something to play for, and over the years they've had the one up on Barnet.
Indeed they have. Well, as we tick closer to kick-off, can Dean Brennan get one over Gateshead at long last? We await to see in just 3 minutes' time before the kick-off. I did actually see something about this. So the Gateshead are undergoing a possible takeover, and they've said that the manager has said some of the uncertainty over that has actually affected some of the players' mentality. Do you think that's a realistic thing to say?
Yeah, I mean, as a player, if I've ever had kind of dodgy owners in the clubs that I've been at, I personally don't let it affect me. I'm not sure if that's just something that he's saying just to take the pressure off the players a little bit. You never really know, but it could be affecting him as a manager. He doesn't really know where he stands with the players and who's going to be there next season or not. So it might be affecting him more than the players. But yeah, I can't imagine it's going to be very nice being in that situation.
No, certainly not, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Pritch. I don't think it's something that should have really affected the players, but like Pritch said, might affect him for next season in terms of recruitment in the summer, because although the season is still well on the cards, they will be planning for next season if they're in the League 2 or if they're in the National League, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so why don't we have a little quick look at the lineups for today. It's a similar setup to the one that played against Altrincham last time out in the 1-0 victory there. This time, though, it's Zach Brunt who makes a start. He came off the bench last time and put in quite a gritty performance for Zach Brunt, not really his game. And Adebola Aluwo, who was with many of the Barnet fans in the away end at Woking, and I saw him be stopped by a steward who didn't believe that he was actually a Barnet player, and he was like, "Boss, I'm a Barnet player, let me in." So that was a bit of a farcical moment.
You wouldn't want to mess with him either, would you?
No, you certainly wouldn't, mate. He seems kind of a gentle giant.
Yeah.
And a fantastic defender, obviously. So he's in that back line today. Nick Tavares, who had picked up a little knock at Woking, is back on the bench. That's a really positive sign. Just the 5 changes for Gateshead then, with all that's going on at their club. We'll have a quick look at their lineup. In the 5 changes are Kenton Richardson, Robbie Tinkler comes back in off the bench, Ryan Bartley, Ethan Robson and Terrell Newton as well are among 5 changes. Basically half the team is switched up. So Gateshead rolling the dice here.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, they've got nothing to lose when you come to Barnet. I think teams are figuring it out now. Obviously, Barnet with that unbeaten home record, they've got nothing to lose, so you might as well roll the dice, see what happens, and maybe some of the players that haven't been playing have got a point to prove.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been in bad form, just like Pritch said, and they brought on quite a few players in as well, so what a time for them to start playing and make a name for themselves at the Hive.
Indeed. So we are just going to observe a minute's silence in memory of the chairman of the Middlesex FA, John Taylor, who has sadly passed away, and the players just lining up on the centre circle, and we'll begin that minute's silence imminently. Yeah, all thoughts with the friends and family of Middlesex FA Chairman John Taylor. Well, an impeccably observed minute's silence there, paying respects to John Taylor. And we're about to get underway for yet another huge game as Barnet charge towards that National League title, their 4th National League title, but there's still 7 games to go.
Predictions?
And it will be Gateshead who are going to kick us off here. It's going to be Jovan Malcolm who kicks us off at the Hive, a sunny Hive, and Love immediately tries to charge it down. And can Dean Brennan finally get one over the Heed? Gateshead play all the way back to keeper Tiernan Brooks, who launches it long. Kenlock will deal with this one, heads it straight towards the centre circle. Stead wins the header, but it's fallen kindly for Robbie Tinkler at the back. being chased down by Liam Love. Great pressure from him. Ball is played back to goalkeeper Brooks once again. Brooks launches it down the right flank. Glover challenging with Hannant, wins the header, and Reece Brown tries to trap the ball. Brilliant from him, gets it in field to Hartigan. Immediately high tempo stuff this.
What we expected.
Straight out of the traps, both sides really. Barnet like a pack of wolves chasing down the ball, and Glover has won a throw in halfway inside the Gateshead half on this near side. Long throw in towards Love, not enough power on it, and it's headed away. Hartigan cushions it back for Glover. Nutmegs his man and tries to collect the ball once again. Great footwork from him. Great tackle though from Ethan Robson, the new boy. And the ball is played long towards Newblay. It's a bit of a frantic start here. Zach Brunt tries to hook it forward to Love. It's intercepted once again, and Gateshead can get it back. Kenton Richardson back to Brooks. And Brooks goes long once again, this time towards Newblay. He's another one of the new signings. Aluwo showing no signs of rustiness there as he shrugs his man off. And here's Hartigan now. Definitely a frenetic pace so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both sides are really struggling to get a hold of the ball, but now Barnet look as if they're another misplaced pass there. So yes, both sides struggling to keep hold of possession.
Ball is back with Gateshead now. It's Bartley on the right-hand side, plays one forward towards Newblay. Good hold-up play from him, although Stead has nipped in really quickly there. And here's Carnu charging towards through the middle. Great from Carnu, just overruns it, but stops the ball from being cleared away. And Carnu looks in the mood today, Harry.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is what he likes. I think similar formations, it's going to be him versus his man out there. 1v1 majority of the game, which can be a dangerous game for Gateshead to play if he's on his form. But yeah, it's definitely the type of game that Idris would like to play.
Well, Dean Brennan was full of praise for his right wing back after the Altrincham game. Sort of terrorised the Altrincham defence in the end and won the free kick that eventually led to the goal. And it's that sort of a game-changing performance that really makes the difference here. Yeah,
I think so, absolutely. And I think over the last couple of seasons he's maybe struggled a little bit in and out of the team, but now you can see getting a game, run of games, getting a bit of form. He's one of the best wingers in the league, so yeah, like I say, just give him the ball and let him do his thing. And to be fair, even he's actually worked really hard on his defensive game as well. You might not really notice that as much, but yeah, he's worked really hard on his defensive game, and that's what's kept him in the team.
Here comes Bartley down the right-hand side for Gateshead. Tries a lofted through ball towards Luke Hannon. Is he going to reach it? No, it's gone out of play for a Barnet goal kick, and Owen Evans will get his first touch of the game. 3 minutes gone. Barnet 0, Gateshead 0. Bit of a frantic start. No chances to report yet, but definitely a high pace and high tempo so far.
Yeah, it was a nice run from Idris Carnu just moments before. And like Pritch was saying, Carnu's been in such a good form. That Dagenham game, I mean, him on the right-hand side, he was just terrorising defenders. And when he's going forward, he's someone no defender will ever want to face.
Well, Carl Magnay's sides are in poor form, but they're a side who like to play football, and they've got a great pitch on which to do it. Some have accused them of being a little bit too tippy-tappy and not direct enough, and that's criticism I've seen from some of their own fans. I'm not just inventing that. Oh, that's a terrible ball back, and the goalkeeper has just about cleared it off the line. That could have been absolutely catastrophic.
Yeah, we've seen goalkeeping errors at that end of the goal at the high of this season. That could have been a major one. I think plays it back, doesn't really look, and luckily the keeper was on his toes because that could have been catastrophic.
My word, that would have been one for the Instagram reels or the viral clips on Sky Sports or something like that. That was an almost comedy moment from Gateshead, just as we were talking about their tippy-tappy football. Yeah, they almost pass it into their own net.
I think we've seen over the last few games, or certainly around the Christmas time as well, where the pitch is a bit dodgy. But this is obviously a nice slick surface today with they've watered the pitch. But
that's a really poor ball back, and Newblay, I beg your pardon, Malcolm has the chance to run towards the goal, hits a left-footed shot and drags it well wide, but that was loose defensive play, and Glover is putting his hands up to apologise to his teammates there.
Yeah, just going back to the point I made, I think as an away team, you want to stay in this game the first 20 minutes. So as a manager, surely you'll be saying get the ball forward as much as you can. Don't be playing around with it at the back. Don't give Barnet a 1-0, 2-0 lead, because you're just never going to come back from that. So as an away team manager, I think you do have to change up your tactics a little bit, stay in the game, and then you can play your normal football. But it doesn't seem to be that way just yet.
No, it doesn't. And Gateshead have come here with a plan to certainly stamp their authority on this game, and they look lively and energetic and up for this. And Frank Nublet was here not too long ago with the Oval. He had a bit of a torrid time, and I'm sure he'll be looking to put in a better shift than he did last time out.
Yeah, definitely. Just try to make amends. You all know he's a handful at the back, given his size and his stature and his nature of being up front there. So if Gateshead need to go up top, they can go long to Frank Nublet.
Gateshead win the ball back in midfield. Great play from them, although the ball towards Bartley is loose, and Love, with his high energy and work rate, chasing it down, forces the clearance long. Aluwo heads it down to Hartigan, and it's now with Kenlock just before the halfway line, and it's now Aluwo. And back with Owen Evans, the fourth centre-back, as we like to call him here on Hive Live.
So good.
Owen Evans goes along towards Reece Brown. Bartley is going to win that header easily, though, and Lahid win it back. Played forward immediately towards Nublet, and the big man has won a throw-in right on the halfway line on this near side.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good battle between Nublet and Ade at the back there today. I think you already see that they're kind of isolating it 1v1 there. I'm guessing Gateshead want to have runners off him, but at the moment, yeah, obviously it's early doors, but Ade's doing a good job.
Yeah, I remember Nick Tavares in the Oval game seemed to have his number and came out on top in that battle, but he's on the bench today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. Like Prichstead is going to be a really good matchup. And just going back to Prichstead and Gateshead to come here, stay in the game. Gateshead are one of the few teams to beat Barnet this season, so they didn't come into this game knowing that they've beaten Barnet. Barnet haven't beaten them, like you said, in 6-7 games, so they can go on that form, and hopefully for them, in their case, they can get a victory.
Glover clears the ball towards the far side into the Gateshead half, and it's going to be collected by Kenton Richardson. Plays it infield to Booty, and it's back with Brooks, who had a bit of a scary moment, and they're playing out from the back pretty calmly, though, considering what a scary moment it was for them. And Gateshead come forward now, just on the halfway line on this near side, with Newton forced back by Kenlock, and I think Gateshead have had more possession than Barnet, which we hardly ever see at the Hive.
Yeah, they're enjoying they're enjoying the pitch. There's not many teams in this league that you're going to get a
kid
pitch
in a candy store, right?
I know, yeah, you're not going to get a better pitch than this in this league, so they're enjoying it, getting touches of the ball.
Definitely spoilt here. Ball attempts to play through the middle. Stead wins it back really well there, gets it back to Zach Brunt. Zach Brunt tries to find Glover with the through ball, but is well intercepted by Hannon and played back to Brooks. Brooks decides to go long this time towards Nublet. Aluwo is all over him though, and it'll come to Collins, who calmly turns Malcolm. Malcolm chases him down, but Collins is way too fit and athletic and travels forward with the ball, lays it off to Reece Brown, and it's now with Carnu on the right hand side.
Okay, 1v1.
Yeah, 1v1.
That's what he likes.
Horton, who's going to come out on top. Still Carnu. Has he overrun it? No. Oh yes, he has. Linesman has just flagged for a goal kick, and that's a bit unlucky.
Yeah, good defending, to be fair. Showing him down the line and put him off to get the ball out of the pitch. But again, another interesting battle that's going to happen throughout today's game.
Once again, a big welcome to all Barnet fans and a few Gateshead fans we've seen as well in the comments from wherever you're listening. Thanks for choosing Hive Live and listening to us. It's been a good start, I think, in terms of entertainment, and a fairly unusual game so far in terms of what we're used to. And Nublet has fouled Aluwo there just on the halfway line as the ball was played long. Hartigan takes the ball quickly towards Brown. Here's Brown now travelling with it. Almost tackled, but gets it back to Kenlock. Now back with Brown again. Kenlock continues his run, but it's Ryan Glover on the near side now. Still Glover taking on Hannant. Lays it off to Kenlock, tries to come inside. Good battle there. Brown has come away with it though. Can he feed Kenlock? It's Miles Kenlock! It's a goal for Barnet! It's Miles Kenlock's first goal for the club! And he He's deserved that. What a player he's been this season. It's Miles Kenlock. Barnet 1, Gateshead 0.
Absolutely fantastic from the Bees. We were saying it's been a bit of a frantic start, but it just takes one bit of quality, and it's Reece Brown and Miles Kenlock. They battled in the corner, won the ball back. Brownie plays it to Kenlock on his left foot, and it's a really good finish at the near post. Keeper will be disappointed, but brilliant start from the Bees, and their good form is continuing.
You can see by the reaction of all the other players, look, he's deserved that. He's had a few opportunities this season to score, and I know there's a bit of a little running joke going throughout the dressing room that he hasn't scored yet, so yeah, that's going to mean the world to him, and obviously a great start for Barnet, and now Gateshead's game plan's going to be a lot different.
You just knew that Miles Kenlock was going to come up with a big goal at some point in a Barnet shirt, and on 10 minutes he's opened the scoring in a massive banana skin game against a voodoo side that Dean Brennan likes to call Gateshead, and it's advantage Bees in this cup final, metaphorical cup final, let's be clear. And the Bees fans are in full swing. It's the first real chance that the Bees have had, and it's a clinical finish with his left foot from Kenlock.
Brilliant.
You wouldn't know he was a defender, would you?
Yeah, with that finish, you'd expect him to get more goals, but this season he's been so consistent, so he's really deserved that goal. And like Pritch was saying, I mean, he's probably one of the only ones that hasn't scored this season, so it's good for him to get on the score sheet.
Yeah, fantastic moment for Kenlock, and the ball is back with Owen Evans now, who will take his time, and it's could be another miserable afternoon for Frank Newblay.
Yeah, he's been here before.
Still plenty of time to go though, 80 minutes to go, still early days, but a great start for the Bees, Pritch.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, like I said, the Gateshead game plan probably going to be a little bit different now, because you know if they let Barnet score another goal, you're probably going to say that's game over, no matter how
that's
early it is. I know, but just the way that Barnet are defending this season, you know, the amount of clean sheets they've had, they've made it so hard for teams to come and score, especially here. Even away, 8 clean sheets in a row on the, away from home. You know, it's going to be a tough afternoon for Gateshead, but you know, you've got to stick in there. You never know what can happen if they can get a goal, a set piece. It's all good and well having the possession, but they need to penetrate Barnet's box. Yeah, a little bit more, so be interesting to see what happens in the next 10 minutes.
Certainly will. Gateshead are going to have to come out at some point and really take the game to Barnet if they want a result here, in rotten form as mentioned, but they get the ball into the box. It's well overhit though, and Brandon Horton is going to chase this down. He's never going to get there, and it's a throw into the Bees in their own half on the far side, and Kanu has it in his hands.
And just going off Pritch's point, I mean, Gateshead, as much as they can score, they always concede goals, so you wouldn't put your money on Barnet not scoring again. Gateshead, that's their 55th goal they conceded this season, which is really poor given how high they are in the league.
Kenlock infield to Brunt. Brunt playing a deeper role, it would seem. Usually quite advanced up the pitch, but lack of numbers. Here's Brown travelling forward for the Bees, tries the through ball towards Love, just a bit too much on it, and he couldn't get it under control. And the ball is in the hands of Tin and Brooks now. Kenlock almost trips over the ball, and it's back with Owen Evans.
Still celebrating that goal in his head, isn't he?
Now Collins over towards Zach Brunt now.
Yeah, Barnet doing a really good job of stretching the play here, because they're finding little pockets in the midfield. Brunty there, and you know, Brownie had a little one before that, making the pitch as big as it can be, and they're just finding that extra man in the field.
Pritch was speaking earlier about Gateshead's plan having to change. Obviously, in the first 10 minutes, they were playing out from the back. And do you still think they'll continue doing that? Or do you think they'll try and pin Newblay, get runners off of him?
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll stick with it at the moment. I think their game plan is to draw Barnet players in and then go over the top. And at the moment, it's not been sticking. So. Yeah, I don't know if they'll continue to play that. If it does start to stick, then obviously they'll stay with it. But if it doesn't, I think they've got to change it up a bit.
Yeah, interesting now. Barnet got a free kick. Anthony Hartigan, we know he's going to be over this. How good is he from dead balls, set pieces?
You've seen over the last couple of seasons now, especially dead ball situations, corners, free kicks in this position. He can put it on the money, and then it's everyone else's job to score. And the amount of assists that he's got this season from corners and free kicks, he's a very special player. And I wouldn't put it past him shooting here, maybe, but no, I'm sure it'll be a quality delivery. Hopefully not commentator's curse where it
not how that works.
ends out off the pitch. But
doesn't look like he's lining it up to shoot here.
I know, yeah, he's probably
40 yards out.
He's probably getting a word in his ear from Dean.
It's Hartigan to fire it into the middle, and it was too hot to handle for Brooks, who kind of just palmed it away. Glover hits it, and that looked like it could have been a rocket into the net, but what a block it was. And here's Idris Kanu. Now Hartigan gets it inside to another. Is he onside? Back heels it to Callum Stead, who lets fly first time, but straight into the hands of Brooks.
Yeah, good hold-up play from Liam Love. Good connection between him and Callum Stead. Flicks it back and Callum Stead. But going back to the free kick, I mean, Pritchard's right. Hartigan took it from about 40 yards out, and he went for that knuckleball kind of technique where the ball moved, bounces. But fair play to Brooks, he's dealt with it pretty well.
Yeah. I think the most pleasing thing out of that is obviously where the free kick was defended well by Gateshead. It was then recycled back in the box by Barnet. It doesn't start to become a basketball match. They can keep control of the ball, and that's what Dean and the management team really work on. Is they work on keeping that kind of ring fence, he calls it, ring fence around the outside of the box, so that if any ball comes out, the ring fence is there to put it back in and stop any counter attacks.
That's why you're here, Pritch, for the brilliant insights that we wouldn't otherwise get.
Expert analysis.
Here come Gateshead just inside the Barnet half, although that's a poor ball given away. And here's in Love on the far side with Brunt. Chips it towards Stead. Great ball, it's Stead. Can he get it under control? Not quite. And he apologises to Reece Brown just to his left, as he just could not get that under control. If he had, might have had an opportunity for a cheeky little volley there.
Yeah. Done the hard part, he made the run.
We're waiting for a Di Canio-esque finish there.
He needed to bobble off his knee, I think, first.
Ball is played forward by Gateshead. Kanu tries to hook it clear, but a bit of head tennis in the midfield. Stead gets it down, but it's won back by Regan Booty. Gateshead try the long diagonal towards the right, but it wasn't diagonal enough, and it goes towards Evans, and now Glover can come away with it on this left-hand side. Travelling with the ball. Back with Kenlock, the goal scorer. Didn't think we'd be saying that. Kenlock being trapped by Newblay, but plays it safely back to Evans. Evans square to Aluwo. And so far it has the signs of being yet another ruthless performance. Kanu tries one down the right-hand side towards Collins, but there was far too much on it, and it's a goal kick to Gateshead. Yeah,
like you were saying, Barnet started well. I still think they could, combinations be a bit better, but I think, like you said, got the opening goal, just clinical, and that's what Barnet been this season. They're top scorers in the National League for a reason. Everyone's chipping in. Mars Kenlock getting himself on the score sheet as well, but 20 minutes gone, or almost 20 minutes gone. It's been a good start from the Bees, and firmly in control, I'd say.
Gateshead try playing out from the back. It was a little bit loose, and the keeper just had to lump it clear, and it's controlled well by Kenlock. Feeds Brown. Now it's Ryan Glover on the near side, taking on Newton. Short pass back to Hartigan. Still on this left-hand side now with Glover again. Short to Kenlock. He certainly looks in the mood, galvanised perhaps by that goal. Here's Glover taking on Hannon again on this left-hand side. Can he get the better of him again? Glover whips one in with his right, and it was Reece Brown who was looking to head it in, but it just evaded him in the end. Well cleared, but the Bees win it back on that far side, although it's now with Brunt. Plays it forward to Collins. Collins tried to get it to Callum Stead in a little pocket in the penalty area, but didn't quite get the pass right, and is back with the keeper. Stead has won the ball back high up the pitch, and what are Gateshead doing in their own box here? Headed away.
Causing their own problems, aren't they?
Certainly are. It's Rochdale-esque when we last saw that sort of shenanigans Brunt almost loses the ball, but calmly gets it back to Evans now, who can restart the play.
Gateshead don't look very comfortable playing it from the back. That's like the second time.
No, Barnet are too. They're just on them, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant ball from Evans to the far side. We know he can do that, and it's really well controlled by Idris Kanu, who's being hounded by Horton. And he's won a corner off Horton. Great work from Kanu, but an even better piece of distribution. And how much difference does that make when a keeper can just put it on a sixpence like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Dean's been after a goalkeeper like that can play with his feet and, like you say, act as a fourth centre half almost. You see how high he's playing up the pitch, and when one centre half's got the ball, he's almost level with him, and it just creates an extra player, and it has to draw one of the Gateshead players out, which then leaves another space in midfield. So he's been crying out for a goalkeeper like that. And like I say, he's not just good with his feet as well, he's good with his hands, keeping those clean sheets.
Anthony Hartigan whips one in with his right, and it's cleared away for another corner, the second in quick succession.
I wouldn't put it past him scoring a goal as well, the goalie.
Nick Hayes does have a goal this season for the Bees.
Yeah.
Come on, that is Glover's goal.
It went down as Nick Hayes.
Okay. Anthony Hartigan is going to take another corner on the far side. In it comes. Collins rises for it. It's hooked away in the end by Robson. Kenlock gets it down. Oh, that's poor from Kenlock, and Gateshead have the chance to counter, but look at Evans' starting position, so high, and sweeps that up brilliantly and just lays it off for Brunt. Can he keep it in play? He can. Gets it to Unlove. Unlove turns his man. Excellent work from Unlove down the left-hand side against Hannon. Into the penalty area now, still Unlove. Gets caught up in his feet a little bit. He's still got the ball though. Great from him. Back to Brunt. Just fantastic from Leon Love there. And here's Ryan Glover. Oh, it's ball into Brown, but he was tackled in the end, and Gateshead come away with it. But great work from Leon Love, wasn't it?
Yeah, honestly, Leon Love, we always talk about his all-round game, his hold-up plays, dribbling, bringing people into play. He's just so brilliant at that, and just showed it through there.
Yeah, I think there was a few question marks, obviously, when Nicky left and Lee came in. But I think,
that's a bit of a late challenge there. Sorry to interrupt you, Pritch, from Newton on Kenlock. Looked like he just pulled out of it enough at the last second, but if he hadn't, that could have been a bit of a nasty one.
Yeah.
Just almost on the halfway line on this near side. Newton diving in late.
Yeah, it was a late tackle, but Mars is all right. South London boys. Tackles don't hurt us.
I've never heard anything more ridiculous. And it's going to be Evans, who is ahead of Aluwo on the pitch. Launches one towards Leon Love. It's headed down. It's Reece Brown. Will he hit one on the volley? It's just wide of the left-hand post. The keeper was scrambling, and a good effort in the end.
Yeah, set up nicely for Reece Brown. He's the man in form at the moment. Back-to-back winners. He'd be disappointed with that. Had a lot of time. Ball set up nicely for him, but he just dragged his shot wide. But another opportunity for the Bees there.
Pritch might have scored that.
Yeah.
Not on my right foot. I would have gone out of the stadium, right? If I got contact on it.
Don't do yourself down. Gateshead try playing out from the back again, and Hartigan almost nipped in there. They're playing a dangerous game, are the Heed. But they seem to stick to this philosophy. It's almost Southampton-esque in that way.
It seems like they haven't really got much of a midfield. Like when the goalie's got the ball there, the defenders in the midfield do come back, and then there's a massive gap to the strikers, and there's not really anyone linking it in.
Kanu did really well there, tracking back, running towards his own byline, and he was pushed in the back and has won a free kick right by the corner flag on the far side.
Yeah, great defending from Idris, and like I said earlier, that's the part of the game that he's improved on so much more. You know, that work rate,
it's a pass,
getting back and helping the defenders out.
Another great ball played down the right-hand side. Stead did his level best to keep the ball in play, and he somehow won a throw-in right by the corner flag. Incredible work from Stead.
I say it every game.
Water is wet.
There was a stat that I had a chat with the management team at the start, and he ran 14k, I think, in the last game.
14.
Which is pretty ridiculous. Most players run, between 10 and 12, I reckon, most games. But yeah, it must have been a windy day that was helping him run around a little bit more.
You're doing him down there. Ryan Glover is going to take this long throw on the far side, gets it in the box. It's well cleared away by Richardson, but it's only back with Glover. Can he make the space for another cross. No, he can't, but Kanu's won it back. Great work from him to get past his man, and he's got some space to cross it into the box. Dinks one in, bit of a heavy one. Collins wins the header, and it's fallen almost for Aluo, but as he got the shot away, the referee has pulled him up for a foul, and a bit of pinball in the area there in the end, but free kick to Gateshead.
Just speaking about Callum Stead and his work rate, Pritch, what was his bleep test score?
God, no! I think he'd probably beat it if he did it. Yeah, I don't think there's enough levels on the bleep test.
Had to reset it.
Yeah, Right, it's not just him as well. You can see the whole team. You know, we do have a tough pre-season, and at the time, it's the worst thing that you could ever think about doing possibly, and it makes you question why the hell you want to be a footballer. But it's paying off, and the amount of times that Barnet do score late in games, you know, they're still running hard every single game, and those points, those late goals do add up to points and hopefully titles.
Okay, so just enjoying a little spell of possession, although Brooks takes a little while to get the ball out, and the Bees once again entrapping them, trying to win the ball back. Gateshead still knocking it about in their own half. It's back with the goalkeeper again. The work rate, the tireless energy there to try and force the mistakes. But the Heat have gotten away with it, and they come forward now just on the far side. Once again, Barnet hemming them in and forcing that loose ball there that Collins has won. Launches it high up into the air, and Love backing into his man as he tries to win it. And Tinkler manages to get the header away, although Love has done brilliantly on the far side to somehow come away with the ball. Still in Love now, he needs to lay it off and get into the box. Stead back with Kanu. Kanu infield to Danny Collins. And now Hartigan. Kanu makes a run down the right-hand side, but Hartigan somehow manages to find Stead in a great pocket of space. Lays it off to Stead to Kanu on the far side. Just inside the penalty area, into the box. And an important clearance there from the Gateshead defender. And it's a throw into the Bees on the far side.
Yeah, just going back to my earlier point with the switch with Nicky and Lee. Obviously, it's going to be hard to contribute with the amount of goals that Nicky did, but Lee is a total different player, and he brings so many other players into the game. And you've seen the likes of Steady now, Brunty, Brownie, all scoring, chipping in with goals, and that's just from the work rate that Lee and Love does. And even then, just keeping the ball in play, leading to a throw. You just never know what it can lead to.
Here's Ryan Glover for the Bees on the right-hand side. Pulls one back, and Love lays it off to Brown. Thinks about the shot. Still Brown. Oh, just can't quite sort his feet out. Laid it off, and he's lost the ball. Gateshead try and launch a counter-attack. Kenlock leans into the back of Malcolm, commits the foul. Gateshead try and play one long, but not only was it a really poor ball, but Hannah was probably offside anyway.
Yeah, it looks way offside there.
Frustration there, I think, from the Gateshead players. Trying to get the ball moving. I think they just need to stay calm, stay patient. They're still in the game. And I'm sure they'll have a spell, you know, even if it's 5-10 minutes of spell, and just got to make the most of it.
Well, if there was ever a good time to play Gateshead, the bogey side for Barnet for all these years, it would be now, given the poor form and the sort of instability at the club at the moment. And so far it is advantage Barnet. It's Miles Kenlock who managed to get the first goal for the Bees. Callum Stead's just been flagged offside there, a bit unlucky there. After 28 minutes, and that goal is currently the difference, and it was a great finish. It wasn't a defender's finish, was it?
Oh, not at all. Miles Kenlock on the edge of that 6-yard box just curls it in. I think the keeper's probably didn't expect him to go near post, but it's a fantastic finish. And just talk about Gateshead's rotten form, man. This is really bad because it doesn't get any easier for Gateshead. They still got to play York and Forest Green in the next 3 games, so there's no opportunity for them to just, you know, lose games like they're losing at the moment.
Yeah, I guess they'd rather have this run of form now than towards the end of the season. If they're still in the playoffs, they're coming off the back of 5 defeats and going into the playoffs, you're not going to be very confident. But you never know. If they get a result at any of those games, and that will kickstart again their season into the playoffs.
Callum Stead, incredible work rate there as he headed his own ball up the line and then proceeded to chase it. It's just no other player would bother, would they? Makes you laugh, honestly. Such a brilliant player.
When you were talking about Lee and Love, it's all the stuff that you can't really track. Like, it's not just the goals and assists, it's all the other stuff, like the one touches, the hold up play, the stuff that fans won't see unless they watch the games, and that's stuff that Lee Love's great at.
Yeah, brilliant. And I think over the years, like I said, absolute credit to Nicky scoring the amount of goals that he scored, but his game is completely different to Liam Love's, and I think having that main target man, especially with the runners off him, like Steady and Brunty and Brownie, obviously Shelts when he's playing, Chapman, having those players there running off of him just creates such a different dynamic to the team.
Well, Reece Brown was almost through there, but here comes Ryan Glover on the left-hand side, just inside the penalty area, lays it off to Brown. Can he find a yard? Dinks it into the box. Wasn't the best ball, and it's easily cleared away by Gateshead. And Aluwo is in the back of Newblay, and it's another foul conceded in the Gateshead half. They play it quickly out to Newton. Here's Bartley, back to Newton, being chased down by Hartigan and Brown, although Gateshead come away with it. Oh, that's a late challenge. Now he could be in a bit of a spot of bother here, Newton.
Especially after his first challenge as well.
Zach Brunt has gone down here just on the halfway line. Some of the Barnet fans have come up from their seats. The referee is allowing himself plenty of thinking time, and it was there's no doubt it was a late challenge.
Yeah, really late tackle, not a good one. Hopefully Brunt's okay. Referee's giving himself,
he's got the yellow card out, much to the real annoyance of the Barnet fans who are booing here. Oliver Mackey has decided that it's a yellow card, reckless, not dangerous, and maybe borderline.
Yeah, I mean, if there was an orange card, I reckon it would be an orange, maybe a sin bin if that's a thing, an orange card for a sin bin. But yeah, after his first tackle on Miles Kenlock, where he did pull out, that was high as well. That didn't look too great from where we were.
Well, that could have been a yellow card, and this would have been.
Yeah.
The referee. You could argue the referee needs to get that under control before that happens. Because the last thing we want to see is a player get injured from a reckless or dangerous tackle.
I mean, he didn't even go and see if Brunty was alright. He could have broken his leg, so maybe that shows the type of person he is.
Well, Zach Brunt is up on his feet, thankfully, and seems to be okay. He's just poured a bottle of water on his head.
He doesn't help himself with the small shin pads at the bottom of his ankles, though, let's be honest.
It's all the aesthetic, isn't it? It's his brand.
Grealish-esque.
Well, now
there you go. Fair play to
he heard you, Pritch.
Yeah,
Newton has shook the hand of Brunt, who has shaken his hand back, and no hard feelings there, but one for the ref to keep an eye on. Certainly, Evans plays a brilliant one towards Kanu. Oh, just bounced awkwardly off the surface and out for a goal kick. Kanu slightly misjudged the flight of the ball, and it's a goal kick to Gateshead. But we're sick of the back teeth of saying it. Evans's distribution is just such a huge weapon in that Barnet Arsenal.
Yes, it's fantastic to see. I mean, there's not many keepers in the world. I mean, nowadays, the modern game, keepers have to be able to play out from the back, be good with their feet. But when you look at it, keepers usually have a lot of time on the ball, so really and truly should be good passes of the ball.
Yeah.
When you think of it like that.
I reckon the game will evolve soon, and there'll be just no goalkeepers. There'll just be an extra player in goal.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Well, we're halfway there.
Yeah.
Certainly with Owen Evans.
Yeah.
Ball is played down the right channel towards Newblay. It's a little bit over here, and Evans. Oh, and Newblay and Evans having a bit of afters there. Newblay kind of put his hands towards Owen Evans. They were just on the edge of the penalty area. Evans waited calmly for the ball to come into his grasp, and Newblay left a bit on him there, I think.
It was a bit of a cheap one. He just, I guess you could say he was challenging for the ball, but yeah, it's getting a bit chippy now. Newton's 2 challenges and now a Newblay.
Bit of frustration there, I think, creeping in. Maybe not from just today's game, but obviously he didn't have a great game last time he came here, with Yeovil, but probably a bit of frustration leading into those tackles.
Yeah, a bit of a febrile atmosphere at the moment. A bad-tempered game from the last few minutes, at least. Ball is up in the air. Kanu heads it, and his ball is sort of. Where will it drop? It's a bit of a pinball in the midfield. The ball is played towards Malcolm here, and it's wide of the goal. What a chance!
Huge chance.
He was through on goal, and he's put it wide of the left-hand post with his right foot, and he's got to do better there.
Oh yeah, you've got to hit the target when you're that close through one-on-one. I mean, so we talk about their woes in front of goal, and that just compiles it. Javon Malcolm, National League Player of the Month for February. By 4 goals in that month, but
not for March.
Not for March at all. That's a big opportunity. Wow.
Yeah, you got to take those opportunities when they come, especially here at the Hive. But it just goes to show, you know, they're still in the game. If Tony takes one chance like that, and if Barnet fall asleep, then that could have easily been 1-1.
Yeah, it was a good bit of play from that Nublé.
Evans has just done his classic calmness personified act and sent Nublé for a hot dog there. And here's Evans once again, just inside his area, drills one. Oh, that's actually a poor one by Evans' standards, certainly. And here comes Malcolm on the left-hand side, tries to feed Newton. That's a poor ball, and it's out for a goal kick. But Gateshead, you said they'd have a bit of a spell, Pritch, and this is the closest thing they've had to that.
Yeah, definitely. All teams have spells in the game, you know, even if you're not dominating the ball much or haven't many chances, you know, corners, free kicks. There was one in open play there for Gateshead.
Long ball played, and Stead almost gets there. It's cleared away. Keeper runs back inside his area as the ball comes out to Reece Brown. And it's with Glover on the left-hand side. Glover cuts inside. Can he make room for the shot? Pulls it wide of the left-hand post. You can see what he was trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw it again. I think it was Sutton United in that game where he cuts in and whips it to the far post. This time went back towards the near post, but dragged it just wide. But a good effort from Ryan Glover.
I think Luke Hannett was claiming that he was blocked off in the build-up to that.
Yeah. Clever play. Smart play from Reece Brown.
Experience.
Yeah. A basketball screen, almost like.
Keeper for Gateshead goes long. It's being chased down by Malcolm. Collins wins that battle, just gets enough on it. Back to Evans. Evans, he's been a little bit more busy than he's used to. Plays one towards the left-hand side. The header is on by Glover, but it's out for a Gateshead throw in their own half. Bartley has it in his hands. Really good attendance here at the Hive today. West Stand looks very full. And a handful of very dedicated Gateshead fans have gathered in that away end. Full respect to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Long trip all down in the morning they would have had to take.
Ball is absolutely thumped forward by Hannant, and it's out for a Barnet throw in their own half. Kenlock should take this quickly back to Evans, who's right on this near side. Plays it infield to Aluo and takes his time getting back into his goal. Here's Kanu. Takes on Horton. Can he get past him? Horton keeps up the pace. Has he committed a foul? He has. That's a late challenge as well. But it was more to do with Kanu's pace and energy than anything too malicious. And Oliver Mackey has given Barnet a free kick right on that far side.
I'm sure if you're Dean Brennan in half-time, you're saying give the ball to Kanu every time now he's on a yellow card.
That's the play.
Yeah.
Wide right.
Yeah.
But then again, this did happen against Dagenham. Remember the left back. How many fouls did he make? Clayton. And then did he even sub him off for half-time, made another foul, then they eventually subbed him off. So
Well, Dean Brennan has some choice words about that referee performance. Never normally says what he thinks, does he, Dean Brennan? He's very shy.
Keeps himself to himself.
Certainly does. Certainly is. So Anthony Hartigan has the opportunity to deliver a Hartigan special right on that far side. Raises both hands. In comes the ball. It's headed away. I think that Love went for something spectacular there. And it's sliced out of play.
Injured himself, Rory.
Jumped very awkwardly, didn't he?
Sliced out of play by Newton for another Barnet throw now. Just on that far side. 38 minutes gone. Barnet 1, Gateshead 0. Miles Kenlock, the goal scorer. Again, if anyone had that on their prediction, I'll be the first to shake your hand.
I'm going for a Kenlock double today.
Hey.
2-0 Kenlock
now let's
double.
not go too crazy here.
You know, they're like buses. Once one comes,
it's true. Yeah, it's true. Glover. He has a good throw on him, does Ryan Glover. Tried to throw it towards Reece Brown on the right-hand side, but it's hooked clear, and Aluo needs to deal with that one. Heads it up in the air, and Hartigan chests that one down, gets it forward blindly on the right-hand side. It's headed back, fallen kindly for Glover, who feeds Callum Stead. Callum Stead chops onto his left, What can he do here? Still Stead. Still Callum Stead. It's a magnificent goal.
What a finish that is.
Wow.
What an individual effort from Callum Stead, who guided it into the bottom corner, and it's his 14th goal of the season. Take a bow, son.
Wow, I mean, Callum Stead just showing exactly what he's about. Gets the ball, dribbles, Cruyff turns, checks back, brilliant composure, finds the bottom corner, and what a finish, and business as usual for the Bees.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant from Steady. Tireless every single game, keeps running, and he could have shot early, like you said, he could have shot early, didn't, got it back onto his right foot, had the composure to tuck it into the bottom corner. You'd say they probably definitely deserve the lead. I'm not sure about 2-0, but could have been 1-0, but I go out the other end, and they're clinical again, clinical every single game, clinical, and they're now 2-0 going into the break.
He's in fine form, is Callum Stead. He doesn't always score, but he puts in one hell of a shift every single time. And that was some individual effort, one of the best that he'll score this season, and he's scored a few good ones.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be teams looking at him for next season. But obviously, if Barnet do go up, then he'll be playing in League 2 next season, and that'll be another test for him. Obviously, playing in the lower leagues, that'll be the highest he's played. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in the league above.
Gateshead have won a corner actually, and it's drilled into the box. The header is just wide there. Evans seemed to have it covered. He was cool once more, and there's a Barnet player who's actually injured here. Could be
Miles Kenlock, I think it is. Got a dead leg maybe.
Yeah, goal scorer Miles Kenlock, I think. Yeah, referee was just obscuring our view. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Actually, the referee, Oliver Mackey, is calling for the physio. And it would be a real shame for Kenlock if he were to go off injured. He's getting back to his feet gingerly. Yeah. Of course, going from such a high from scoring today, his first goal for the club. And he's been ever present in this side. He hasn't missed a game.
No, that's what you want. You want consistency from all the players, just throughout the season. You want them week in, week out, and the horrible days up in Altrincham and back down here. It's just you need consistency in the team if you're going to win titles or get promoted. You want, especially in your back line, you want a solid back line. Every player knowing their job. And it's good to see that he's hopefully going to continue. Yeah,
they say the best ability is availability, and Marskell's been ever present, consistent, always puts in a shift, rarely makes a mistake, and for him to be rewarded with a goal today is really, really good for him, and a fantastic signing in the summer as well.
Who's your player of the season so far then, your vote's going to go for? Or are you keeping that to yourself?
We'll get there. Post-match podcast, we'll get there. Here's Reece Brown. Nice bit of trickery as he's hauled to the ground, but play on, says the ref. Here's Hartigan on the left-hand side. Lobs one down the left channel towards Love, and it's gone out for a throw-in down this near side. We're just 2 minutes or so left to half-time. Barnet 2, Gateshead 0, Kenlock and Callum Stead on the score sheet. Glover takes this one quickly, throws it down towards Brown, gets it back, does Ryan Glover. Trying to find a yard for a cross, instead gets it back to Hartigan. And now with Brown. Taking on Hannon on the left-hand side. Brown gets one in with his left, and it's fallen for Ryan Glover! And it's a really important block, because you felt that a deflection could have taken that straight in.
Yeah, that could have definitely deflected in. And just going back to the point earlier, that the ring fence, Ryan Glover on the edge there, didn't give it up, the ball got crossed in, it got headed out, and he was there ready to attack and put it back in the box and have a shot. So, credit to him for that.
Glover taking on Hannon again. Hannon's having a bit of a rough time so far. Back to Brown. Brilliant ball inside to Kenlock, the goal scorer. He couldn't get another one, could he? Trying to get past his man, but Tinkler just does well enough to get his body in the way.
There, didn't he?
You've put it out into the universe, Bridge.
Kenlock double.
Stranger things have happened.
So it's going to be another throw. Ryan Glover on the near side is going to take it. Hartigan looks to make an option. Glover throws it right into the box. Is it going to come out to Glover again? Oh, that's good defending in the end. And the ball is played up the right channel, but it's gone out of play for what I believe is a Gateshead throw.
Yeah.
Just 20 seconds left. Barnet 2, Gateshead 0. Newton plays it straight out of play. It looked like it could have been a Gateshead throw, Barnet throw there, but no complaints. 3 added minutes. Ball is thrown down the right flank. Great control by Newblay. Newblay is robbed by Brunt. Ball is played down the left towards Unlove, but it's just too much on it, and Brooks catches that one. Still has it in his hands, does Brooks. He's telling his players to move further up the pitch.
Now they decide to play long with them.
Well, we're just 2.5 minutes to go till half time. Why not? They are 2-0 down, of course. Ball is played long. Ball has fallen kindly for Newblay. Plays it out wide to Hannon. Hannon finds Newblay. Is that a good ball? Just a little bit too much on it. Aluwo was very quick off the mark there and gets it out for a Gateshead throw. Deep inside the Bees half on the near side. It's going to be Booty to take this throw in. Is he going to go long here? He is. It's not particularly long, although Kenlock has had to head that one away. Brunt with another header away. In towards the box. Aluwo gets an important header away. It falls for Reece Brown. Can he get it out? Gateshead might have won this ball back, and actually Brown has committed a foul there against his man. And Gateshead have an opportunity now to whip one into the box from a free kick on this near side.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for them, right before half-time. They say this is the best time to score, and if they were to pull one back now, the half-time team will be very, very different.
Can the Bees make sure they don't concede any silly goals before the half-time break? Do Gateshead have the quality to breach this almost impenetrable Barnet defence? It's going to be Booty who's going to take one with his left here. There's a one-man wall of Reece Brown. Booty in with his left. It's headed well away by Aluwo. Comes back out to Hannant. Lays it off to Newton, and now it's Tinkler. Will he launch one into the box? It's high into the box. Evans runs for it and claims it with authority. And he's going to take his time. No, he's not actually. He's going to launch it straight away towards Idris Kanu on the right-hand side. Kanu runs towards the ball, but he knows he's never going to get there.
Much rather the ball up there, wouldn't you, though?
It's out for a goal kick.
Yeah.
To Gateshead. That's how quickly the ball goes from one end to the other. Here's Newton once again being booed by the Barnet fans who think that he might have deserved a red card. An orange card according to Pritch. Gateshead play one through the middle. Can Malcolm get this under control? Good hold-up play from him. Booty needed to release that first time, really to Hannon on the right. But he comes away with it just past the halfway line, does Booty. Plays it to the left-hand side. Here's Richardson. Infield to Malcolm. Heavy touch from him, and the Bees come away with it. And Oliver Mackey has blown the half-time whistle. And any sign of complacency has been well overblown, because the Bees once again lead here at Fortress Hive. It's Barnet 2, Gateshead 0. Miles Kenlock, the unlikely goal scorer for the first. Great finish from him, and an even better finish from Callum Stead for his 14th of the season after Kenlock bagged his very first for the club. Harry Pritchard reckons he's on for a hat-trick or something like that. But we're yet to see in the second half whether that is going to be the case. Thanks for joining us so far. We'll see you for the second half. Barnet 2, Gateshead 0. See you shortly. Right, the players are out for the second half of football here at the Hive. Barnet 2, Gateshead 0. Miles Kenlock with the first goal. Brilliant finish from the centre-back, the ever-present centre-back, and the very first goal he scored in black and amber. And the second came from an individual effort from Callum Stead, who bagged his 14th goal of the season. Chopped one way, chopped the other, and just guided it into the bottom corner, out of the reach of Tiernan Brooks. Great finish from him. Gateshead have had one or two opportunities of their own. Malcolm with probably the best of the lot, but he put it wide of Owen Evans' goal, and that is the difference between the two sides. Bees have been ruthless so far. 2 big chances, 2 goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it goes a long way to explaining Barnet's league position. So Callum Stead kicks us off, plays it back to Owen Evans, and the referee wants this to be taken again.
Full start.
Take 2 here of the kickoff, as I think Nublé had jumped the gun. And it's played back to Evans, who launches one long towards the left, and Love jumps for it. Nobody gets there. Hannon with the left, that's a heavy touch from him. Is he going to keep it in play? It's being hounded by Glover. Surely that's gone out.
Oh.
It looked like it went out to me.
Yeah, a little way out
from our position here.
But Lino, he had his flag down, so I guess he must have seen it just stay on the line.
And Harry Pritchard is lazily ambling his way back to the gantry. He's still not here with us yet. Disappointing tardiness from the third man.
He'll be here soon enough.
As he makes his way up the stairs, as we can see here. We won't shame him for it, though. Throw-in taken short. Here's Glover on the far side for the Bees. Still Glover running towards the left-hand side. Brown back to Hartigan. Hartigan plays it inside towards and Love. Doesn't quite get it under control. Collins sheds it forward towards Brunt. Can he get it under control? No, he can't. Gateshead come away with it now. Ball is played down the left channel by Robson, but it's out of play. And at long last, Harry Pritchard rejoins us. Were you getting a half-time burger or what? As he puts his headset on.
I'm back.
He's back. The Pritchard's back.
That's the most I've run in about a year, I think.
Here's Richardson for Gateshead. Tries a through ball to Malcolm, but it was between both Horton and Malcolm. A poor ball there in the end. It's gone out for a Barnet throw-in. Near side in their own half. Carnu feigns the long throw and actually takes it short back to Evans, whom the players clearly trust. Long ball down the right-hand side towards Stead. Brunt rises for the header. Gets it out for a Gateshead throw right on the halfway line. Horton gains a few yards up the touchline.
What's he
Ball is thrown onto the pitch. And Richardson will finally take this Gateshead throw. Launched first time towards Malcolm. Aluwo heads it away. Can Brown trap the ball? No. Booty wins the header. Ball is played down the right flank, but it's wayward, and Love applauds the effort. And Harry, if you're Gateshead, what do you do right now? Do you stick or twist? I mean, do you feel you're likely to get a result here and really throw the kitchen sink at it, or do you stop the goal difference becoming a problem?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, goal difference could come down to it at the end of the day, so I think you might just have to give it a go for the next 10-15 minutes, stay in the game as much as you can, but then if it's still 2-0 and 10-15 minutes, you've probably just got to shut up shop and hope for the best, and just make sure that you don't concede too many more goals.
Yeah, quite a few of the playoff sides faltering recently. It doesn't look like anyone wants to get promoted. Last we checked, Halifax were losing at home to Hartlepool, and Altrincham are only managing to draw against already relegated Ebbsfleet United. Long ball played by Evans towards Stead, headed away by Richardson. Played forward towards Malcolm. And College with a great battle against Malcolm there and wins the throw-in. Here's Kanu. Tries to... a quick interchange with Stead, and he was fouled by Robson. Good thing he was fouled, because it was a poor ball back to Kanu.
Yeah, a bit of a silly free kick to give away, but...
And there is a free kick for the Bees inside the Gateshead half. Might be one just on this near side for Hartigan to launch into the box, but he might want to play this short. Collins makes a really good run inside, but he plays it down the right flank towards Kanu, taking on his man. Still Kanu, gets one into the box. It only found Brown right by the near post, and it's cleared away. Kenlock heads one back down the right channel. Can Brown get this under control? Somehow he does. Brilliant from him. And here's Stead. Can he get a second here? It's a tame effort with his left, straight into the hands of the keeper there. And the keeper drop kicks one quickly down the right-hand side towards Newton, but that's gone straight out of play, and the quality just hasn't been there from a side as technically proficient as we're so used to Gateshead being.
Yeah, just a side that's just out of form at the moment. If this score remains the same, will be their 6th defeat in a row, and like Pritch was saying, you don't want to be lagging into the playoffs because, you know, you just want to be in good form at the moment, but they're just in a tough run of form, but they're still a good side, like we said. They can still score goals, but just at the back, they're just really, really struggling to keep the ball out of the net.
Well, you say they score goals, but they have struggled for goals as well recently as well. And judging by that Malcolm miss, you can probably see why.
Yeah, in front of goal, no confidence. I mean, just looking at the numbers, I think their 2nd and 3rd top scorers have both left the club in the January transfer window, so just haven't been able to replace that output at the moment.
Brown is played through the middle. Really direct sometimes, our Barnet, and you can just see that. No fussing, no tippy-tappy. Here's Brunt. Plays it wide to Idris Kanu. Taking on Horton. Kanu dings one into the back post, just evades everyone in the end and goes out for a Gateshead throw on the far side. But Kanu on his day is just unplayable, really.
Yeah, very good play, and like I say, they're going to try and get the ball to him as much as they can, because Horton's on the yellow card already, so he can't put in a tackle, so Kanu can get some crosses in, or he's going to have to put a tackle in, late tackle, and potentially get a 2nd yellow card.
And Gateshead can launch a counter-attack here. It's played towards Newblay, and that's a real waste, because that looked really dangerous for a second, and the ball to Newblay was just so poor, and that must be so frustrating for Heed fans.
Yeah, absolutely. They worked really well on the right-hand side, got the overload, and it just needs to be a good ball from Newton. It was a really, really poor ball into Newblay. He's fed off scraps, really. That would have been an opportunity for him. Scored early, got to get back into the game, but like you said, just the quality's been really, really poor from the Heed.
Yeah, but he's not had the best of days, has Newblay, the West Ham alumnus.
Yeah.
Foul committed in the middle of the park on the far side in favour of Gateshead. Just a quick comment. Duncan Young says, "You've cheered me up from my sickbed in Devon. Had to call off my pilgrimage this morning. Doing a great job. First time I've needed to listen." Well, thanks very much for tuning in, Duncan. And from all of us here at Hive Live, from Pritch, from Brian and myself, we wish you the speediest of recoveries so you can get back down to the Hive for the run-in.
Just touching back on your point earlier, Rory, about the chairman potentially selling the club and whatnot. Obviously, selling your top 2 goal scorers or your 2nd and 3rd top goal scorers has not helped the manager at all. So yeah, obviously the manager's been put in a pretty of a tricky situation here.
Well, he wasn't the only one. Owen Evans was put in a tricky situation just then and had to play the ball out slightly panickedly. And Gateshead have a throw on this near side from a rare moment of, well, a lack of composure really from Owen Evans and his defence. Gateshead lose the ball though. Aluwo plays it forward quickly. Stead lays it off to Kanu, who just lumps it with his right towards Unlove, but Unlove hasn't really been able to get into the game much. Do you think it might be a game for Dom Telford to have an impact?
Potentially. I mean, he's put himself about, hasn't been able to get the ball sticking as he usually does, Liam Love. I just think it's one of those games, you're going to have to as a striker, you're not always going to be involved, but he's led the line the best he can. But I do get your point, Dom Telford is a bit more nippier, much better in combinating play when the ball's on the floor, but I think so.
Yeah, as the game goes on and the more tired the Gateshead players get, obviously Dom Telford coming on and running a little bit more than Liam Love is going to change the game a little bit, and that's probably not what they want to see, is him coming on especially. But
or Harry Chapman for that
yeah,
matter.
exactly. I think as frustrating as it is for Lee, he's done a job well in both boxes, heading the clearances away from corners, etc. So yeah, he's an important player.
Gateshead on the attack here. Booty just lost it out, and here's Robson into the box. It's a deep one, and Evans claws it away in the end. Is it in play still? Kanu lumps it clear, but the referee has given Gateshead a corner, and just for a second it looked like it could be troubling Evans there.
Yeah, Owen Evans had a bit of a dodgy 5 minutes, kicked the ball out of play, hasn't able to catch the ball. The Owen Evans we haven't really seen too much, but he's been called into action quite a bit.
Booty drills one into the box.
It's a free header.
Free header.
It was, and he was just off balance, was Ryan Bartley. Maybe just the defence just did enough there to put him off getting a proper header there, because if he had, it could have been a bullet straight into the back of the net.
I don't think Dean Brennan will be too happy with the start that Barnet have had this second half, and fair play to Gateshead coming out and with all-out attack.
Yeah. Well, that looks to be Bartley's last involvement. It is number 16, I beg your pardon, not 6. Ethan Robson has just come off, and Braden Johnson has just come on. One of the new boys?
Yeah, it seems like Barnet have come in second half a little bit slow, a little bit timid. I think the fans just need to inject a bit of life into the stadium at the moment. It's gone a bit quiet.
Stead lays it off to Zach Brunt as Barnet try and launch another attack here. Hartigan has Kanu on the right hand side calling for it, gets it, he's got plenty of space, has Idris Kanu to operate here against Horton once again. Kanu just inside the penalty area now. Horton sticks his ground, but Kanu gets one into the box, but it was far too close to Brooks, who holds on to it and rolls it out quickly as Gateshead try and launch another counter attack. And you can see, I asked you, Pritch, whether they were sticking or twisting. I think they're going for it, but the ball towards Nublé on the right hand side just kicked up and went straight out of play, and that's a bit unlucky.
Yeah, he looked quite tired there. I'm not sure if he's blowing a gasket, but yeah, he's done his probably more running than what he wants to be doing in this game, so maybe they're going to look to change that as well, go for a different approach.
A lot of chasing. I thought the ball was a good switch.
Yeah.
Now here's one for Stead to chase on the right hand side, but what has the referee given here?
Free kick.
Oh, he hasn't played the advantage. He's given a free kick to Barnet. Stead looked like he could have latched onto that ball.
He obviously doesn't know what Steady's about, because anybody else we would have blown up, but knowing Steady, he would have got that.
Hartigan to Stead, now Brunt. Kanu now on the near side. Lays it off to Brunt. Lofts one towards and Love. Where's it going to drop? Will it drop for Stead? No. It's Richardson. Stead somehow wins it back on this near side. Lays it back off to Stead, does Brunt.
He is a defender's nightmare.
Still comes away with it into the box, pulls it back, but it's just away. And just how on earth does he manage to keep the ball and win the ball back so quickly, Callum Stead?
He's got a low centre of gravity, I reckon. That's how he does it.
It has to be that. Brunt almost wins the ball back off the substitute Braden Johnson. That was a heavy one. And here's Newton driving down the near side. Has he run it out of play? No, he hasn't. But Collins has just been dragged down there. And the crowd want a second yellow card for Newton here. But Collins is calling for it as well, really. Yeah, he has a bit of a case there, because he just threw him to the ground in Newton.
Yeah, he's pushing us like Newton.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he stays on any longer, because they don't need a man sent off, definitely not.
Carl Magnay must be looking to his bench now. Newton is on thin ice. Hartigan gets it over to Glover on the left-hand side. Taking on Hannon, still Glover, and it hits his own man in the end, and it drives up into the air, and it's hooked away by a combination of Ryan Bartley and another Gateshead defender. But yeah, that Glover shot looked to be potentially troubling that goal if Reece Brown hadn't got in the way.
Yeah, it was travelling. It was a good play from Ryan Glover. Just cuts in. We know what he's about when he cuts in. Unfortunately, he hits Reece Brown, but at least for the Bees' point of view, they're able to win a corner.
58 minutes gone, Barnet 2, Gateshead 0. It's Hartigan with a corner on that far side, in-swinger. In it comes towards the back post, but it was far too close to the keeper, who rolls it out quickly towards Newton now. Here comes Newton again on this left-hand side, being booed once again like the pantomime villain that he has become. Gateshead play it around in the box, and Love is chasing it. It's back with Brooks, and Gateshead just don't look too comfortable, although they do come away with it on this occasion. Ball played down the right channel towards Frank Newblay, and Evans comes out and claims it, as he often does. And Newblay looked up to the sky just for a second there in frustration.
Yeah, I think he's tired now. He's running the channels, long balls over the top.
Well, they've got the likes of Tyrell Sellers-Fleming that they could bring on. He's notched a few this season. Beg your pardon, he's actually notched one. I was giving him too much credit there. Scored against Eastleigh. And Love, has he managed to come away with it? Brilliant strength from him. Stead's still driving. Oh, fancy taking on the whole defence. But here's Idris Khan, who urged to shoot. Lays it off to Reece Brown on this right-hand side. Can't make space for the shot. It's blocked, but it's come back to Reece Brown now. And Stead just looks absolutely on it. He wants this man of the match award.
Absolutely. He's putting himself in good stead about it.
Oh, get out. Here's Ryan Glover on the far side now. Cuts inside. Lays it off to Hartigan, and it's back with the first goal scorer, Miles Kenlock. Bees being forced back. And Kenlock has found Hartigan on the far side, gets it back to Kenlock in the penalty area, pulls one into the middle, but it just didn't find Stead. Collins puts pressure on Malcolm, and Kanu wins it. Here's Idris Kanu taking on Malcolm. Brilliant work from him. Tries to do a bit too much, but manages to win a corner on this near side. Complains to the linesman about a possible foul. He didn't get one, but it is a corner on the near side. And if this stays 2-0, I'll be shocked. Yeah. And I've been stung by saying that in the past. But the way the Bees are going about it, they definitely won this third goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I don't know if that's Gateshead's 5-10 minute spell that they had at the start of the half, but again, they needed to score then after that free header in the box in the corner. Now Barnet have got the ascendancy going forward, and they do well to stop them now.
It's going to be Hartigan on the near side with an outswinger this time. Hand goes up in the air, as it so often does. In towards the middle, Collins rose for it, got contact with it, but he glanced it well wide of the goal. And the Bees are set to make a substitution here. And I think it's from here, it looks like Harry Chapman's going to be coming on, but Gateshead are making a change of their own now. And it's no surprise that Tyrell Newton is coming off and Jack Rolls is replacing him.
Public enemy number one.
And he's gotten away with one there, as Newton.
I think he's done well being taken off rather than being sent off.
And Love has actually gone down with a bit of an injury here. He's being attended by the physio. Hopefully he's okay. What a massive player he's been since coming on board the Bees' title push. And it's another change for Gateshead. It's going to be Frank Newblay, whose race is run. And as I was saying just before, Tyrell Sellers-Fleming is coming on for the Heed. Bagged just the one goal against Eastleigh, not a few goals. Let's be clear about that. Well, Barnet are making a substitution of their own. Off comes Reece Brown, who hasn't quite managed to impact the game as much as he normally does, but it's Harry Chapman, who we mentioned just before as another player that Gateshead just don't want to see come on. He's a man of the north himself, with a strong accent. And on he comes. And there's going to be another Barnet substitution as well. And Liam Love is coming off here. Hopefully he's okay, because he is coming off a bit gingerly as he very slowly walks around the pitch. which is not ideal from a Barnet perspective to see.
Yeah, not at all, not ideal, but at least you've got someone in Dom Telford coming on, someone who can score goals, good finisher. Obviously different profile to Neil, other times of hold-up play, but technically very, very sound.
Here's Harry Chapman with his first touch, and what a touch as well. Here's Brunt. Needed to play that earlier, did Brunt, but manages to play it out wide to Harry Chapman on the far side, taking on his man into the penalty area, pulls it back, and it's out for a corner. Telford was lurking, and it would be classic Harry Chapman to set up a goal immediately after coming on.
Yeah, great, like you say, great substitutions to have. It just shows the strength and depth in the squad. He'd normally be starting in every other team. I know he's been injured, but I'm sure he'll be pushing for a few more starts towards the end of the season. Keep his fitness up, hopefully go into League 2 next season, fire and fit.
So it's Hartigan to take the corner on the far side. In it comes. Aluwo rose for it this time. And Stead gets it back into the box. His Zach Brunt couldn't quite make the volley work. It would have been something quite spectacular if he had, just on the edge of the area. But here comes Ryan Glover on the far side, tries to cut inside, but he's tackled. And here's Regan Booty for Gateshead, who just gets one clear. Chapman needs to win this on the far side, and instead just lets it go out for a throw-in inside the Bees' half. 65 minutes gone, Barnet 2, Gateshead 0. Just to confirm, Leon Love has come off for Dom Telford, the diminutive Dom Telford. I think he's only 5'7", but another low centre of gravity for Gateshead to deal with.
Fox in the box.
And Reece Brown, of course, coming off for Harry Chapman. Quality replacing quality. Two players who are a little bit injury prone, I think it might be reasonable to say, who have missed games this season, but on their day, fantastic. Ball played down the right channel towards Stead, who traps the ball brilliantly. Still Stead, so tricky. Plays it infield to Anthony Hartigan. Lays it back off to Carnu. Carnu against Horton once again. Makes some space, pulls one back. Just can't find a Barnet shirt, but Hartigan so quick in there to win the ball back. Brunt just on the edge of the area. Ooh, tries to find Carnu. Great idea. Just a little bit overhit. Yeah. But Carnu thanks Zach Brunt for his efforts.
Yeah, see if that was a different team and a different player, you know, he'd be moaning at him for not passing him the ball correctly, but just shows the confidence and togetherness of this team.
Another substitution now for Barnet. It's Adi Aluwo, who drafted back into the squad after a period out, and it's Nick Tavares, Nick the Brick, who makes his way onto the pitch, thankfully, after picking up a knock against Woking. Thankfully, it doesn't look like it's anything too serious. Such an integral part of Barnet's defensive unit, but just goes to show you the quality. Even when he's not playing, Barnet still haven't conceded, even after all this time.
Not bad 3 substitutions to have.
Currently on for their 7th clean sheet in a row, are Bees. Telford tries to nod it on to absolutely nobody, and it goes back to Brooks. Here's Tinkler.
Chairman's probably pulling his hair out with those clean sheet bonuses that happen.
It's a nice problem to have.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
Here come Gateshead to launch a potential counter-attack down this right-hand side. Ball played in towards the middle, but not enough on it to find Malcolm. And the shot is a dangerous one. And it just goes past Owen Evans' left post. And everyone sort of froze for a second there as the ball just went out of play, thankfully.
Yeah, fell really kindly to Jack Rose. You know what, take effort, 25 yards out. They trickled just wide. I think it was wider than we anticipated, but yeah, good effort from Gateshead.
I guess you don't shoot, you don't score, eh?
Yeah.
Well, Jack Rolls clearly have some quality. I mean, he played for Spurs in a friendly against Juventus.
Not many people have played for Spurs, so
no, not many people have. Not least against Juventus.
Yeah.
Here's Owen Evans for the Bees. Takes one long, down the right channel, headed away. Carnu picks up the loose ball brilliantly, and Hartigan gets it out to Danny Collins. Stead finds Carnu down the right-hand side, being hounded, but he's surely been fouled there by Kenton Richardson as he beat his man there and drove towards the penalty area, and he's looking around as if to say, how is that not a booking?
Yeah, I mean, that's the most cynical foul you can have in this day and age. Pulling the shot's normally a yellow card, but I think the referee's just feeling sorry for Gateshead.
Doesn't want to do his paperwork tonight,
Yeah,
does he?
you know what I mean? Easier to not give the card than to give it.
Yeah.
So an opportunity for the Bees to get something into the box once again. Hasn't yielded anything in particular so far. Had one or two contacts, the Bees. The last one, Danny Collins glanced it on, but it was closer to the corner flag than the goal.
Yeah, just watching Danny Colledge's movement, he's so good at creating that half yard, and a lot of the time he does get the connection on the ball. Doesn't always score, but he does just get that connection on the ball.
Hartigan, in it comes, as well over hit, and a poor quality uncharacteristically there from Anthony Hartigan, and once again another set piece goes begging.
He's allowed one a season, I guess.
One a season, absolutely. It needed to be the other side, he would have scored.
Yeah, he likes doing that.
Yeah. Was it York he scored that one? Well, that's a corner, wasn't it, York?
No, York was a free kick as well.
Free kick, yep.
Yeah, York was a free kick. Collins almost wins the ball back off Malcolm. Malcolm comes away with it. It's loose from him, but he gets the better of Collins this time actually and drives forward with the ball, plays it down the left-hand side towards Horton. Carnu chasing him down, lays it back off to Malcolm. Malcolm with a heavy touch. Stead almost wins it back, which he's applauded for by the Bees fans, but here's Richardson for Gateshead. Plays it towards his centre-half, Tinkler. Tinkler with a poor ball out and a loose touch from Jack Rolls there. Can't do that against Juventus. Owen Evans plays one forward towards Brunt, who just hooks one over his head towards Dom Telford. Dom Telford taking on Tinkler, but can't quite hold it up, and that's when you want Leon Love, I suppose.
Yeah.
Here's Brooks. Strange seeing the Gateshead not really have too many options on the ball. Normally, when I used to play them, it was you couldn't get near them. It was ridiculous. But Barnet doing very good, pressing the ball. Everyone man for man, and not making it easy for Gateshead.
There's no doubt this is a different Gateshead proposition entirely. Here come though Gateshead on the right-hand side inside the Barnet half. It's cleared away, and here's Harry Chapman. Eventually lays the ball off to Evans. Tries to find Carnu on the right-hand side, but overhits that one, and it hits the advertising hoardings. Horton takes the throw in quickly, just on this near side by the halfway line. Bees just maybe taking their foot off the gas a little bit at the moment, as the game threatens to peter out slightly on 71 minutes. But while it is still 2-0, Gateshead are technically in this game, and if they were to somehow sneak a goal, could be a very interesting sort of game. I remember Barnet playing Rochdale here, and an Aluwo mistake led to a Rochdale goal back. I think it was Ian Henderson.
39-year-old Ian Henderson came on and changed the game.
And the Bees were backs to the wall there, and it's a Gateshead free kick just past the halfway line. And here's the substitute, Johnson. Tries to dink one through the middle, but that's very loose and goes straight to Evans.
Fortunately for Barnet, I don't feel like Gates have anyone of Ian Henderson's quality now to come on and change the game.
Here's Kenlock. Oh, it's a bit of afters there with Rolls, I think it was. Evans launches one forward towards Glover. The loose ball headed by Brunt towards Glover. Has Glover kept it in? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't actually. It's gone out for throw. Throws it to Chapman, who tried something slightly acrobatic towards Dom Telford. Got it slightly wrong. Ball played towards Tinkler. Great touch over his shoulder there.
Oh, gosh.
Brooks. Johnson does brilliantly there to turn Zach Brunt, because he could have been in a spot of bother there, and Gateshead play their way out of trouble very well. Ball played over the top. Tavares guides it towards Evans. Evans plays it forward first time. Where is it going to drop? Stead rises for it, heads it down brilliantly towards Brunt, and he's got Chapman on the left. Is Chapman going to touch this down? Excellent from him. And he's got Telford and Stead in the middle. He's well overhit that, but it has come to Stead, who lays it off for Idris Kanu, who's urged to shoot on his left foot. It's well blocked, and Malcolm can come away with it now. Collins does brilliantly to get his body in the way there, and it's found its way to Callum Stead down the right flank. Still Stead. Now Brunt plays it off to Kanu. Brilliant work from the Bees. And here's Kanu on this right-hand side. Goes infield to Brunt. Inside to Stead. Plays it off to Hartigan. Can they make this attack count? Hartigan plays it towards Brunt. Brunt lays it off at Telford, finds a yard, gets the shot away with his left. But the keeper got an important touch, and at the second time of asking, holds on to the ball. Good effort, Dom Telford.
Yeah, really nice build-up play from the Bees. Play it around the box. Telford shifts a yard, gets the shot away. Good save from Brooks and goal.
Yeah, I think that's just shows what the type of player he is. All he needs is that yard of space to shift the ball onto his left or right. To be fair, he's good with both feet. Like I say, he's a natural goal scorer.
Back with Evans now. He's struggling for options, decides to drill one long towards Kanu. Great touch from him, although he's claiming that the defender was all over him. Here comes Malcolm, comes away with the ball. Played towards the middle. Here's Rolls. Rolls is tackled well by Kenlock, and it's out for a corner.
Yeah. Good cover from Miles Kenlock. Just comes across there, makes sure the shot can't get put away.
So, 15 minutes left. Could Gateshead get something from this corner as they're set to make yet another substitution? Looks like Kenton Richardson is coming off, and Brandon Hornstrup is coming on to replace him. I believe that would probably be a like for like.
They came close in the last set piece, didn't they, Gateshead? So
yeah, one to watch out for. So, corner on this near side for Gateshead. Delivery into the box, straight into the hands of Evans. Now, can he launch a counter-attack as Kanu is calling for it? Drop kicks it, might have been better throwing that one.
Yeah.
And Horton gets it all the way back to Brooks, and the danger is averted for the Heed. Just been shown by Harry Pritchard that York City are leading Wealdstone by 3-0. So York doing their part just to keep Barnet honest, while it is mathematically possible.
Yeah.
But as it stands, it's another goal, and beg your pardon, another clean sheet. Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're seeing things that we can't.
Another clean sheet, another win at Fortress Hive, and another 3 points in the title charge, with just 6 more games after this to go. Braintree next. Tough nut to crack, Braintree Town. As we know, they beat York City. Combination of John Akinde and Jermaine Francis. Barnet legend, champion John Akinde, and current loanee Jermaine Francis. What a masterstroke.
Yeah.
expect an own goal from Akinde next week.
Telford gets one into the middle. It's controlled in the end well by Hornstrup, the substitute. Late challenge there by Telford, and Gateshead win a free kick well inside their own half. Played back to Brooks. Short to Tinkler. Infield to Booty, back to Brooks again, and Brunt slid in there against Brooks, but the ball is played long towards Sellers Fleming, but it's into the hands of Owen Evans. Rolls it out to Hartigan. Plays it over to the right hand side with Danny Collins, chased down by Malcolm, but gets it to Kanu just on this near side on the halfway line. Kanu plays one towards Dom Telford, but it was just too close to Hornstrup. Gateshead win it back in midfield. And here come the Heat again. Here's Rolls. He's had an important role to play since coming on. And he's actually somehow conceded a foul there, even though it looks to be quite unlikely. He might have a case for a foul himself.
I think it was a handball. He thought he was fouled, put his hand on the ball and gave it the other way.
Another Barnet change. It's Zach Brunt coming off, and I believe it's Billy Clifford who's coming on. Here it is. Again, Brunt having a good game without directly affecting too much.
Yeah.
But a solid game from him.
Yeah, definitely. He's kept the ball ticking, especially in that midfield. That's what you've got to be. Hasn't managed to bomb forward as much as what Mark Shelton would do, but Zach Brown is always technically very good, had some couple of nice passes, but I'm sure he'd like to get a little bit more goals, which is what we always seem to say about him, but good performance from him.
Yeah, I think it showed us, again, another side of his game, flying into tackles. I know he used to do that in training, and he absolutely loves sliding around, tackling, but don't normally see that in a game. But today's obviously been given more of a defensive role. And I think he's done a very, very solid job.
Glover tries to find Dom Telford with the elevated through ball, but it falls to Brooks, who rolls it out. Playing out for the back once again. Loose one. And it's come out for Bartley now. Back with the keeper Brooks. Decides to go long. Tavares puts pressure on his man, and the Bees win the ball back in midfield. Clifford, his first involvement. Carnu, now Collins, inside the centre circle. Drives past Sellers-Fleming and plays it out to this near side with Carnu. Back with Clifford, right on the halfway line, and into the centre circle with Hartigan. Tavares. Kenlock. Back with Tavares again. And now Evans. Bees just taking any sort of sting out of this game. They know they don't have to take too many risks. The damage seems to have been done, and Evans lumps that one straight out of play as he tried to find Glover, and it's a throw into the Heed.
Yeah, good game management, just taking the sting out of the game. I mean, Gateshead have got to come up with something else now for the last 10 minutes. They've taken their big main target man off. They're still lumping it forward, and I don't think they've won a header since he's been off. So that's clearly not working. They need to try and find something new, find something different. You've got 10 minutes left of the game now. You might as well go all out and just hope for the best.
Evans goes long again towards Carnu. It looks like that's probably going to run out of play, although Carnu does his best. Very nearly kept it in there, but the assistant referee has flagged for a Gateshead throw-in well inside the Bees half, just on the near side. Throw-in taken quickly towards Malcolm. Collins wins it back. It's come out for Gateshead. Played down the left flank. Tavares needs to win this one. Gets his body in the way brilliantly as he's being hounded by Sellers-Fleming. Plays it calmly back to Evans, who launches one first time, and it's going to be Dom Telford who almost gets that one.
5'7", you say?
5'7". Plays it back to Brooks. Brooks plays it out. Great turn again from Johnson, who that's the second time I've seen him do that.
One off a free kick as well. Had some nice touches since he's come on, the 18-year-old.
Yeah, that's what you want, I guess, isn't it? Just exposure to men's football, especially when you're that young. Yeah. Exposure to men's football. I'm sure they make some mistakes. I'm sure he'll have some great moments as well, but just needs to knuckle down and work hard. He's shown a few good touches already, so it seems like he's going to be a decent little player.
Here come Gateshead inside the Barnet half. Malcolm plays it towards the middle with Rolls. It's back with Malcolm now, just on the edge of the D. Can he get a shot away? Here he can! And he scored!
Finish. Great goal.
Right into the top corner, and with 9 minutes to go, or 8 minutes. And Owen Evans has just been shoved onto the post in the aftermath of that celebration. And he's clutching his face. Yeah. Totally unnecessary there. But Gateshead are back into the game. No clean sheet for Barnet this time. And the away contingent there are rather jubilant at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give credit to the Gateshead. They kept on going, just as what Pritch was saying. Last 10 minutes, might as well go for it. Really good intricate play between Malcolm and Sellers-Fleming. And then Malcolm cuts inside, and Owen Evans just stood still, curls into the top corner. Fantastic finish from the Heed, and the momentum's all on their favour now. Maybe a wake-up call for Barnet, but interesting last few minutes this will be.
Yeah, I don't think that's it's going to be the end of the goals. I think Gateshead will now have to push forward for the second. May leave themselves open at the back, but they've got nothing else to lose now. They might as well go for it.
Well, he missed it wasn't quite a sitter, was it, in the first half, but missed a big chance in the first. But he's put that away brilliantly, has Malcolm, and it's Barnet 2, Gateshead 1.
He's definitely made up for that miss in the first half, that's for sure.
Well, if you're going to be champion, sometimes you're not going to have it all your own way. And I mentioned Rochdale, and it has a bit of a Rochdale feel about it now. but it's gone out of play for a Barnet throw-in inside their own half there. Loose ball out, and it's given Gateshead encouragement here, and the Bees fans are now doing their best to get behind the team, and I think Dean Brennan's going to be really upset with that.
Yeah, I think like we spoke before off air, I think Barnet must have just switched off, complacency, and thought they'd already won the game.
Stead gets it into the middle towards Telford. Oh, it's just behind Harry Chapman as he looked to capitalise. The ball is played out by Brooks at the back. Close for Telford, and that's going to have to spur the Bees into action here. Clifford with loose play there. And Gateshead come away with it from the back now. 6 minutes to go, and Barnet were in complete cruise control, and now we're talking about them potentially having to hold on.
Yeah, it was almost like it was a bit too easy for them. And Gateshead just took advantage, and this kind of sprung the Bees back into action now. I think they've got to focus and concentrate.
Yeah, well, Gateshead are a good side, and they're showing it now. Here they come into the penalty area. It's cleared away only as far as Johnson, and now Regan Booty gets one in towards the middle, and it's headed away, and Harry Chapman will collect the loose ball and needs to gain some yards for the Bees down the right-hand side. Brilliant from Chapman, still going is Harry Chapman. Into the Gateshead half. Amazing footwork from him, tries to win a foul there. You could see what he was trying to do there, hook his leg round the defender to try and win a foul. It looked like good footwork initially though. So 5 minutes left, Barnet 2, Gateshead 1.
I guess the good thing for the Bees is that they've been in these close one-score games, Woking away, Altrincham away last week, so it's not too familiar for Barnet to go into the last few minutes a goal up, but
they say
at the Hive is a bit different.
2-0 is the most dangerous lead in football.
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
A trope that is often wheeled out by commentators, but it's showing itself to possibly be true here, given the complacency that it can yield. Here come Gateshead just past halfway line. Looks like it's gone out for a Barnet throw just on the edge of the area. Don't know what that silliness was about with Owen Evans getting knocked into the post and clutching his face.
I think he jumped into the post after getting a little shove.
It was ludicrous.
I think he was holding on to the ball.
It was one of those. It's just been an oddly bad-tempered game in stretches, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're fighting for titles and playoffs positions, and you want that fight within the team, I don't think you want to just go down easy, do you? So
there's a lot to play for, absolutely. Loose ball though, Dom Telford has won this. Plays it out wide to Harry Chapman now. Can he gain some yards down the left-hand side as he takes on Bartley? Overload
on the back post, if you can get it there.
He gets one in towards the middle. Telford lays it off, just can't quite get enough on it. But Clifford has won the ball just on the edge of the penalty area. Does really well there, does Billy Clifford. Here's Ryan Glover. Kenlock back with Clifford, and Kenlock again. Great play from the Bees there on this left-hand side. Now here's Glover. Glover gets one in with his left, well overhit that, and it goes straight out of play. Bit of a waste.
Talking earlier about like clean sheet bonuses.
Oh, yeah.
For this week.
That's probably they'd be most disappointed. If it stays 2-1, they'd be more disappointed about that clean sheet bonus than anything else.
Can Gateshead find what, on the balance of probabilities, would have been an unlikely equaliser? It's Barnet who are coming away with it down the left-hand side with the substitute. Harry Chapman tries to try something clever to get into the penalty area, but Johnson clears it, and it's come back with Collinge. Evans gets it back to Collinge. Now Tavares. Just need to stay calm, which I don't need to tell them to do. Ball played long towards Callum Stead. Manages to almost shoulder it infield, but it's back with Gateshead now, with Hornstruck, back with Brooks. Barnet trying to trap them in once again and force Brooks long, plays it through the middle, rolls, leaves it brilliantly, and that's great play. And where has this been all game from Gateshead? Diagonal play towards Horton, but that's a poor quality ball, and it goes out for a goal kick with 2 minutes of normal time remaining.
They've shown flashes of good play, Gateshead having their rolls, a nice little dummy there. Javon Markham with a brilliant finish to bring them back into the game, so they have got quality, and that's why they're in 6th position in the league. but just on a consistent basis, it's been really poor from them. But the clock keeps ticking, but they're still in this game.
Well, Malcolm's goal was only the second goal that Owen Evans has ever conceded in a Barnet shirt in the league.
Wow.
Because we don't talk about that Altrincham game in the FA Trophy.
We don't at all.
He goes long towards Stead. Cleared away by Gateshead. Where will it drop? Hartigan manages to trap it, and here's Carnu down the near side. Can the Bees get a third goal here that would definitely kill this game off as a contest, you would feel? Carnu back with Hartigan. Back with Carnu again. Tries to find a yard, and has he won a throw? No, he hasn't. Tried to con the linesman into giving it, and he's nonplussed at the decision. He might have even kept it in there, Carnu, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean,
but he let it go.
It looked like a Barnet throw, but maybe we can't see the lino. Can see better down there.
Tinkler passes it down the right-hand side, and here come Gateshead to launch another counter-attack. Horton making his way down the left-hand side. Carnu chases up with him, and here's Bartley. Infield to the goal scorer Malcolm, and now Booty. Here's Hornstrup. Bit of space for him to operate. Plays it down the left-hand side. Bit overhit there, but it's kept in just about. Back with Hornstrup now. Stead is trying to put pressure on him, but here's Booty, still with Gateshead on this near side. Dribbles inside, and great sliding challenge from Clifford. And here's Stead. Can he come away with the ball? Launches one long down the left-hand side towards Dom Telford, who's going to pick this up. 5 added minutes indicated by the 4th official. And here's Telford down the left-hand side. Bartley almost gets the better of him, and Chapman drives inside. Has he won a foul? He has. Brilliant work from Harry Chapman there.
Good work from Dom Telford as well. We're saying he's not really a hold-up play, but he held up the ball really, really well in the corner. Wait for a support. Chapman brings it, gets brought down. It's a really good play from Dom Telford, and ticks a few more seconds off the clock.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered. And you wonder if this could be one for Hartigan to whip into the box. It's the sort of range he likes to score from.
Yeah, I'm sure
he scored one.
His eyes will be lighting up at this set
one
piece.
Against York, one against Yeovil. Could he make it 3?
Hartlepool last year, he scored one as well.
He certainly did. That's a bit of an obscure one, that one for the memory bank.
Yeah.
So, is Hartigan going to whip one into the far corner, or is he going to lay it off short to maybe the likes of Chapman or Glover? My money's probably on getting it in the box.
Straight in, I reckon.
It does go into the box. Oh, and it very nearly found its way into the far corner. For a second there, it just looked like it might go in.
Yeah. He loves that angle.
But it goes out.
Side of the box.
It goes out for a goal kick. Pritch suddenly just turned to me.
I know, yeah. I thought we'd called it in.
That would have been so satisfying.
Oh yeah.
As a commentator. So here's Horton for Gateshead. Plays it infield. First time ball. Gateshead lose it though with Stead. Back to Evans. Long ball forward towards Carnu and Telford. Headed forward though by Booty. Nodded on towards Sellers Fleming. Can he get it under control? No, he can't, although nor can Barnet. Here comes Booty just on the halfway line. Still Booty now. Plays one down the left-hand side towards Horton, heads it inside, but Collins has the opportunity to clear. He's surely caught late there. Referee doesn't see anything wrong with it. Great turn once again from the young Johnson. And it's towards Sellers Fleming, up against Tavares. Great touch from him. Lays it off in the first time effort there from Rolls, I think it was.
Snatched at it, didn't he?
Totally snatched at it. Had much more time than he thought.
Yeah, desperate times, I think, now. Last few minutes. Needed a bit more composure there.
Yeah, it was a really good hold-up play from Sellers Fleming, though. Held off Tavares pretty well. Sent it back to Rolls, but yeah, really poor strike from him.
Just 2 minutes left for Barnet to see out yet another 3 points. It would make it 25 games unbeaten. And yet another home win. Stead launches one down the right channel. Now, has Cardew managed to get that? He's bullied off the ball in the end, and here's Tinkler, plays it back to Brooks. Now, can Gateshead launch one last attack here as the clock ticks down? Tavares makes a bit of a mess of the clearance, and it's a Gateshead throw deep inside the Bees half.
They need a Jordan Cropper here, don't they? Someone
or a Glover.
Yeah. Or maybe they got a half long throw coming up.
They do have a Booty at least.
It's Regan Booty who's going to be responsible for throwing it into the box now. How far is he going to be able to throw it in? In it goes from Booty. Tavares rises high. It wasn't the best throw in, but it's back into the middle, and no nonsense clearance from Glover. Chased down by Telford, but hooked away well by Tinkler, who would remain back, and the ball comes towards Sellers Fleming. Can he get it under control? He can. Great work from him, but once again, no nonsense from Kenlock towards Telford. Clifford went for the header. Has Horton got ahead of Cardew? Cardew with a really important piece of defensive work. Excellent from Cardew, and Collins launches it long towards Telford, who's turned his man. Is he going to get there ahead of Brooks? No, Brooks got there. Hartigan being told to shoot from the halfway line, but can't quite get it under control, but gets it forward towards Telford. Now Stead. Now could he kill the game off here? Stead into the penalty area. Still Callum Stead.
Yes, get in there. What a finish, Callum Stead.
Game, set and match. It's his second goal of the game, and Pritch called it. He knew this wasn't the end of the scoring, but the next goal has come for the Bees, and it's another crucial 3 points on the way to the National League title. Barnet 3, Gateshead 1.
Brilliant finish for Callum Stead. We said it in the first half, he's going for that man like form. This is definitely his today. Gets the ball, cuts in. He could have went to the corner, but he said, no, I'm Callum Stead. I'm getting my second goal of the game. Cuts in, far corner, off the post. No chance for Brooks in goal. And another 3 points for the Bees. 3 goals, 3 points. Good day all round.
It just struck the inside of the post and nestled in that right-hand corner. When you're top of the league, those go in, but Callum Stead, as you called it, Brian, we were talking about him for man of the match.
Yeah.
He's desperate for that, and he's got it, as far as I'm concerned.
He'll have to take £1 off his goal bonus for hitting the post. That's in the fine.
Is this another rule?
If you hit the post, there's a £1 fine.
What, because it's technically not on target?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it all goes to a good cause, but
yeah, that is harsh. Joe Grimwood is actually going to come on here for the final knockings of the game. And Idris Cardew here is coming off, and he's clutching his hamstring.
Cramp? I don't think he'd be walking off if he's pulled his hamstring. I reckon cramp.
Well, I certainly hope you're right, and it's full time here. Another standing ovation from the B Army here. Barnet 3, Gateshead 1, Miles Kenlock opened the scoring. Callum Stead got the second, all in the first half. Malcolm pulled one back for Gateshead against all the odds, really, given that the Bees were in cruise control for most of the game. And after a minor scare, a ruthless counter-attack from Callum Stead, we just knew that third goal was going in once he got the ball. He has the bit between his teeth at the moment, and it has finished 3-1 to the Bees. 91 points now, edging closer and closer to the National League title. It's another brilliant performance, another brilliant result. And wow, what more can you say?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, totally deserved. Maybe a bit more touchy and nervy towards the end than we the first thought, but yeah, cruise control. I still feel like they didn't even get out of third gear, Barnet, and yeah, they deserved the win. But fair play to Gateshead, they didn't give up. They had a go. They're now saying a big thank you to their fans that have travelled all this way, and they have shown glimpses of why they're in the playoffs, but I think they need to tighten up at the back a little bit more, especially for a playoff contender. But yeah, like I say, it's a deserved win by Barnet.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to agree with both of you guys. Good win from the Bees, and when you're at this stage of the season, it's all about the 3 points. Performance, as much as it matters, it's all about the end result, and that's what the Bees have got today. But Callum Stead, a fantastic performance from him. 2 brilliant individual goals. He made them all himself, and the Bees go on. 8 more points needed to win the league, to go up, and automatically anyway. But a fantastic performance. Another unbeaten performance at home. 17 wins out of 20 at the Hive. A quite imperious record. And the Bees march on.
Well, in they go in their famous huddle on the pitch, as many of the Bees faithful wait to applaud their team and cheer them off once again. York have obviously done the business against Wealdstone, so mathematically it's still not over, and it couldn't have been until Braintree anyway. But Barnet have finally, at long last, beaten Gateshead. They've broken the curse, and they are the voodoo team no longer. Fist bumps from Harry Pritchard here up on the gantry towards his former teammates. Dean Brennan with a beaming smile on his face, and why not? He's masterminded yet another victory here. This unbeaten record is quite simply insane. One of the best in the entire world.
Yeah.
And that is not hyperbole. Unbeaten at home all season.
Absolutely.
It's some feat.
I think it was Barnet, Burnley and Birmingham City, the 3 Bs in England.
I'll just let you soak up the atmosphere for a sec. And it's gone. Commentator's curse even applies for cheering, apparently. So, thank you very, very much to everyone who tuned in to our coverage on Hive Live as Dean Brennan does his whip. Barnet 3, Gateshead 1 was the score. And thank you very much to Harry Pritchard for joining us on comms today.
Yeah,
I hope you can come back at least once more before the end of the season.
I'll definitely be back before the end of the season, no worries. Thanks for having me again. I love it, I enjoyed it, and we keep that unbeaten run going.
Let's go.
I've been your commentator, Rory Edwards, alongside me, Brian Matovu, and of course the aforementioned Harry Pritchard. We wish you all the best, of course, as the Bees go marching on. Barnet 3, Gateshead 1. Thank you, and look out for our post-match podcast, which will be dropping on YouTube very shortly. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, and up the Bees.